Good morning, everyone. It's old Mal, the hydrangea guy, here in his garden, and Mary's here with me this morning. Beautiful morning. Today is August the 28th, so we're a little bit late in our sort of summer pinch pruning time period as best we know it. But what we wanted to show you today, we get a lot of questions about can we control plant size? And one of the things you have to remember, you cannot make a big plant small. It will regrow. You can try to shape it better. You can try to achieve some beneficial results in terms of size, but there is some limitations because the plant's got a story to tell you as well. So what we have here today, we're going to look at a couple of good things, actually. We did some pinch pruning on this plant about a month ago, maybe even 5 weeks ago. And so first, I just want to show you some of the experiences here. This is the new growth. You see, we pinched this off, and see the new growth has come out between the leaf, petiole, and the stem. Here's some good examples of it. In fact, I'll cut this so we can sacrifice this one so you can get to see. But here's what we've got. The new wood is grown out, as you can see, between the axil, between the petiole and the stem. And look how nice that is. And see the progress in this sort of 4 or 5 weeks that have developed. That's what we're looking for. The key point about what we're doing versus, in other words, if you're doing simply pinching or pinch pruning versus trying to improve plant form, this is what you have to remember. If we make our cuts up near the top, and I'll use this as an example because, Mary, if you can see inside here, here's a good example. See where my pruners are? You see the buds that are there? If we simply take that off, the chances are that these will develop just like these and they're fine. However, let's say we have a big beastly plant and we want to take it off and cut way back. All right? Cutting way down into here. What's going to happen when we do that? A lot of the new growth that's going to emanate from that is going to be principally foliage or new stem wood. It may not flower. And that's the issue you have to keep in mind with controlling plant size. There's a limit to which you can go and get flowering the next year. You can cut way back if you like, but you're going to have a season of probably little or very few flowers, if any. So just remember that. That position on the stem can be very sensitive. Most plants, most hydrangeas, it doesn't matter whether it's lace cap or mophead, are what's called apically dominant. They principally bloom on the tip buds. That's why when we have harsh winters, we lose the tip buds, we get such a devastation in terms of overall flowering. Then we have to rely that the plant is going to produce budwood coming off like this is here and give us a salvation in that season. You can see how encouraged the plant is, though, to make new growth. I think this is very significant just to look at that piece. So, in other words, I could have not gone this far and taken this off. So you have to consider plant size versus how much you're cutting off a stem and its effect you're going to have on flowering. So I think what I'm trying to say to you is that consider it sort of modestly as to how much you're going to cut back a plant and do it more for form than you are for size. I think that's an important dimension to keep in mind. So those are the issues at hand. You can go around on this plant, all these spent blooms if you want. You can simply pinch them off, as we said. Typically, the first node here is blind. The second one still has life. You see that little difference? A little hard to see in this close, but just above my thumbnail. In the next 5 weeks, certainly through September, growth is going to occur. And this may be strong enough that it will produce a flower next year. However, if we cut way down, as we showed you in that example, I think the chances are slimmer. It's not gonna have the same chance. So just keep those simple things in mind as you go about it, and I think you can make a plant form-wise work very well for you. And occasionally you're going to have to accept the fact that you've got a brute that needs to be moved to somewhere where it's a better fit, and put a plant in here that's a better size. They are not all the same size by any means. So I think that's important things to keep in mind. So there's still some work to be done, but you have to be selective about what you're doing. Good luck.